Dizzy, and this is Dizzy Quilts and Sews. In today's video, I have all of my makes from April 2022. Before I jump right into my April makes, what I'm wearing today is the Itch to Stitch Newport top in a cotton jersey pencil stripe from the Fabric Snob here in Canada. All right, so what have I done in April? I mean, if you watch my channel and you've watched my Friday Sews video, or videos, I should say, you probably know a lot about what I'm going to talk to you today. But just in case you don't remember or haven't watched, there we go. So my first finish of April was the Harrison shirt by Cashmerette. I made this in early April. I started it in March and finally finished it in April. And yeah, I'm gonna put a card somewhere on the screen to a video I recorded all about my experience with the pattern and with the shirt making for curves class by Cashmerette. So if you want to know more about the whole process and my thoughts on the pattern, go and check out that video. I made my Harrison shirt in a cotton lawn from Blackbird Fabrics that I purchased last year. So I'm not going to be able to link to that fabric specifically, but I'll link to the shop in the description box below. I also made, this shirt is so the buttonholes on that shirt are the first buttonholes I made with my new Juki DX7. And although they are not 100% perfect, they are pretty good. And I was very, very happy with the results. So loved the shirt, loved making it. I've worn it a couple times already. And yeah, it's good. The one thing I noticed the couple of times that I wore it in April, I think the next time I make this, I have to make the back yoke a tiny little bit wider. Yeah, I feel a little constricted in the back when I move my arms forward like this. So I'm going to have to look up the wide back adjustment, I guess it would be. But other than that, love, love, love my Harrison shirt. All right, and after finishing my Harrison shirt, I got into the Selfless Sew April 22 makes. So I finished 4 makes for other people. The first one was a La Bella Donna tunic for kids for my granddaughter, Madison. So she has to wear white tops for school, and she'd asked me to make her a t-shirt. So I made her one, of course. The fabric is a white cotton jersey from the Fabric Snob here in Canada. The tunic is a size 6, and I have not actually seen it on her yet, but I'm hoping it fits her and that she's happy with it. I also don't have any pictures of her in it. So yeah, a picture on the hanger is going to have to do. But although the La Bella Donna pattern by Love Notions is a very, very easy pattern to sew, I did not enjoy making this at all. I mean, kids' clothing in general, I'm not a huge fan of. All these fiddly little armholes and neck bands, and yeah, it's just really, really fiddly, and this one was no exception. So yeah, I don't think I'll be making kids garments for a while. I also believe between you and I, it's a bit of a waste of money and time. They grow up so quickly. You're lucky if the garment you make them lasts like a whole season. So I'd rather spend my time making garments for grown-ups that, chances are won't grow out of them. So that was my first selfless make for April. The second selfless make was a Rocky Mountain raglan t-shirt for my husband, Doug. I used a cotton jersey in a beautiful, beautiful navy from the Fabric Snob again. This cotton jersey is amazing, amazing quality. It sews up really, really well. It takes a crease when you iron it or press it, and it's really, really soft. Amazing fabric. So I made the raglan tee for Dougie a few times last year, I think. Yes, last year. But he's lost a lot of weight. He's getting healthier and has lost, I think, 50 pounds over the last year. So I had to go down 2 sizes for the new version. And I think I'm going to make him a few more of these. They go together really, really quickly. They fit him well. He likes them. So, yeah, so that was selfless make number 2 and a really, really successful one. My selfless make number 3 really, really tried my patience. So I made my daughter the Saltwater slip dress by Friday Pattern Company in a satin I'd purchased from Rainbow Fabrics back in February, I think. When I first told her I would make her the dress, I just had no idea what I was in for. I made her a muslin or fit garment. It fit her really, really well with no adjustments. I used an extra small at the bust, graded to a small at the waist and hips. It fit her perfectly, perfectly. So I cut into my satin, which was seriously the fabric from hell. It's shifty and slippery. It just refused to take a crease, no matter how hot. I mean, I couldn't go super hot on the iron because it would just melt the stupid thing. But yeah, it really, really, really tried my patience. And the Saltwater slip dress is finished all around the front, and the straps and the back is finished with bias binding. And I really wanted to use the same fabric for the binding just because I like the look. I prefer the look. So yeah, fun. Hours and hours of fun making that dress. In the end though, I got it to work. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it looks good enough. And she loves it, which is the most important thing. She actually picked it up over here and wore it that night to go to a party that we had at a fancy restaurant. So in my books, that's approval right there. And my last selfless make for April was the Pulsar quilt for my son's bed. So the Pulsar quilt was designed by Yvonne from the Quilting Jet Girl. I'd made it before in a baby size, and I absolutely loved it. It is such a fun pattern. So when my son asked me for a bed size or queen size quilt for his bed, I immediately knew I was going to use the Pulsar pattern. It is just such a modern and striking and surprisingly easy pattern or quilt to put together. Yeah, it was just a no-brainer for me. Now he requested a blue quilt. So I went with 5 different shades of blue in Kona cottons. So I use nautical for the background, which is the darkest one. And then I used surf, blue jay, blueberry, and cloud. Cloud being the lightest blue in the middle. So I love it. The backing is a wide back I purchased from Mad About Patchwork. Actually, all of the fabric for this quilt I purchased from Mad About Patchwork in Ottawa, actually not too far from here. I quilted it on my domestic sewing machine. I'll insert a card for a video I filmed when I quilted this quilt, just basically demonstrating how I can manage to quilt or free motion quilt a 90-inch by 90-inch quilt on my domestic sewing machine. I used light gray thread, which basically disappears against the lightest blues, but really pops on the dark background. And yeah, it's been on his bed since I finished it, hence why I don't have any really good pictures of the quilt. He's been sleeping under it for a couple of weeks now, which is awesome. And finally, my last make for April was a Sinclair Harper cardigan for myself. So when I finished the raglan tee for my hubby, I had the navy cotton jersey on my cutting table and realized I had about 1.25 meters, 1.5 meters, somewhere in there. And instead of just folding it back up and putting it back in my stash, I decided to just make myself a navy blue cardigan, which will be very practical in my wardrobe. So I made the size 16 in the cropped version. So basically the exact same make as my So Frugal set from March. So it comes at about my high hip. I made the long sleeves this time. I made the 3/4 sleeves last time. And yeah, it's a lovely cardigan. I'm very happy with it. Now, I had hoped to participate in the Sew April Blouse 22, is that what it's called? Sew April Blouse? Yeah, challenge here on Instagram. But I basically just ran out of time. Work has been insane, just crazy busy. And I've had to work, a lot of evenings, which basically cuts into my sewing time. And on the evenings when I didn't have to work, I was just exhausted, so I went to bed. So I did manage to make quite a few things in April, but I did not get to sew up the 2 blouses I had hoped to make. So I'd hoped to make a Rhapsody blouse by Love Notions in this beautiful rayon I purchased from Rainbow Fabrics. It's actually almost finished. I mean, I almost managed to get it done in April, but then I just, why stress myself like that? So it's almost done. So it'll be part of my May makes. And the second one I'd hoped to make was a Seychelles top by Itch to Stitch in this cute polka dot rayon challis. And that one is all cut. It's just waiting its turn on the sewing machine. So both of those I'm very confident will be part of my May makes. Just, didn't manage to get them done in time for the challenge. So those were my makes for April 2022. Please let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite. And if you've made any of the patterns I talked about. I will list all of them in the description box, by the way. Thank you for stopping by. Please give me a like on your way out if you like the video, and consider subscribing to the channel. I would really love that. Thanks again, and I will see you soon.